The Switch 2 has been out for a week, and I've spent that time playing around and testing the system, and I think that this is one of the best handhelds to come out ever. So with that being said, this is my review of the Nintendo Switch 2. That's a 3. So if you guys don't know, the Switch 2 is Nintendo's newest handheld console, being released literally just a week ago on June 5th with a new Mario Kart game. I can't believe it. We got a new Mario Kart game. It's insane. But with all that being said, the system is legions better than the Switch 1, with the screen size being bigger and everything just feeling ergonomically more premium. Considering that this console is a 700 Canadian dollars. Considering this cost, you would expect the system to have some much better specs, and it does deliver. I don't know how to describe it, but the plastic that's used on the system feels much more premium than the one that was used on the Switch 1. It just feels better in the hands and feels like you bought something that cost money, because you did. With all that being said, I think that this system is generally a better upgrade than the Switch 1, which you would expect from a new system, with it feeling much more ergonomically friendly, and the controllers just feeling really, really nice. I haven't bought a Pro controller because I'm not trying to go super broke, but the Joy-Cons with the Joy-Con grip do feel good, and the handheld mode, despite the bigger screen size, feels very nice in the hands. With that being said, let's go to the specs. I'm gonna do a really cool transition here, alright? It's gonna be such a smooth transition. With the cost of this console being 700 Canadian dollars, you expect that this console performs better, and this system delivers. Considering that many people didn't like the Switch 1 primarily because of its performance, that being mainly 1080p 30 FPS or even 720p in handheld mode, this console blows the Switch 1 out of the water. Literally, there's water behind me. It's crazy. With the system supporting up to 4K with 120 Hz displays, with many games such as Mario Kart World running at 120 FPS. Overall, this feels much smoother than the Switch 1, and even considering that many games have gotten upgrade packs to the Switch 1, which albeit I don't agree that they should cost money, just give us 60 FPS for free, Nintendo, instead of charging 20 bucks for it. Playing games such as Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom in 60 FPS definitely feels nice, and it feels like a much higher upgrade than playing at a choppy 20 FPS Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch 1. Because whenever I used Ultra Hand, bro, that frame rate was gone. This upgraded performance also opens the doors for third parties to actually port their games over, with even Cyberpunk 2077, a game notorious for running terribly, being a day one release on the system. Day one. But I think that with this system, we're gonna get a ton more third-party games that are being ported over, simply because of the massive upgrades that Nintendo has done with the specs of the system. They collaborated with NVIDIA to produce an entirely new chip, and they even have like a short video on the Nintendo of America channel that showcases this. And to demonstrate this performance, why not test out the #1 launch title for the system that came bundled with it, Mario Kart World. All right, just to show how good this runs, I'm gonna be trying to win this race inside of Mario Kart World, so let's get into it. I think I got this. Okay, we're in 8th right now, but that's okay. I can overtake on this track. This is a new title running at 60 FPS. It's 1080p because that's what my capture card supports. Just while we're playing this game, I guess I can give some more information. So the battery life on this system is honestly really good. I tested this out and I was getting like roughly 2.5, 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours lucky, hours of gameplay in Mario Kart World, which is really good considering that this is a new title. Ergonomically, I think this console is really good. I do like the Steam Deck a lot more with regards to ergonomics, because it just feels a lot better in the hand, because the Switch 2 kind of has like a flat back. But this system also just still feels really good, which also stick drift is apparently still an issue on this system, which kind of sucks because like Nintendo's had 8 years basically to fix stick drift, and they haven't fixed it yet. But I'm hoping that they have definitely mitigated it. And just like that, Mario Kart World Race in the bag. Obviously, Mario Kart isn't the most visually demanding game that this system can run. This gives you guys a good idea. It's a new gen title running on the Switch 2, and it does look phenomenal. I will be doing a video on this game at some point, but it is really good. Okay, hopefully I didn't sell too bad in Mario Kart World, but I hope you guys enjoyed that little showcase of what the performance on this console is actually like. But there's also tons more games. Like literally the day I'm recording this video, there was a Splatoon 3 like spin-off that got announced, but like there is stuff still happening. Obviously this is very recent. The system came out literally 5 days ago at the time of filming this. But right now, the game selection, as of recording this video, is you got Mario Kart World, and basically your entire Switch library. There's not a lot of exclusives, with many of these games being just ports of games that have already been on PC or like consoles for years, like Xbox and PlayStation 5. The launch titles kind of felt kind of lackluster. Obviously Mario Kart World is huge, but like we're re-releasing Cyberpunk, which came out literally 5 years ago. and we're saying that it's like the newest thing. Like, sure, it looks really good, but like the Steam Deck's been able to play that for a few years, and it's just not the biggest thing. I feel like the launch lineup could be a bit stronger on this console. I think that we're gonna get a lot of announcements in the next few weeks or even just a few months, so I hope that this loadout of games will get better soon. With all that being said about the Switch 2, let's talk about competition, because this console definitely has some competition. Now, many people go as the first thing, you got the Steam Deck, of course. That console was being compared to the Switch 2 by the time it was announced. And honestly, I think that the Steam Deck is definitely the right way to go for many people. I say this because, like, if you have a Steam account, you get Steam sales happen regularly. Switch 2 games overpriced like crazy. Like, sorry, I'm not blowing $120 on Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Especially when I can just go on Steam and get, like, a Steam game for, like, on sale for, like, 80% off, because they do their Steam sales like crazy now. But even the new Xbox handheld that was just announced, although it's not coming out for a little while, that system has Game Pass. You can get a lot of games with Game Pass. So I think that Nintendo is definitely gonna have to, like, change up their game pricing strategy, because the Switch 2 itself is already, like, 700 Canadian dollars. Even that cost is so much more than the Switch 1 that you can't really justify the game cost. Just saying like, oh yeah, it's a cheaper console, so it makes sense that the games are more expensive. No, this console is expensive, and the games are expensive. Like the Steam Deck, like sure, it costs like the same amount, but you can get a ton of games for much cheaper. All right, so with all that being said about the system, is this console the right one for you? If you're looking to play a lot of AAA and indie games, then I think that you should definitely look at a Steam Deck, because they are, sure, they're like the same cost of the console, and the Switch 2 might be a bit more powerful, but the game costs are so much cheaper on Steam, it's not even a competition. Nintendo has their sales, but Steam sales are like the peak of sales, man. You're getting like so much cheap stuff. So like considering that that is possible on Steam, and that is unheard of on Nintendo platforms, I think that if you're looking just to play as many like indie games and like maybe some light AAA stuff, I think that the Steam Deck is definitely the way to go. But if you like your Nintendo games, or if you want to get a bit more power out of your console and have more games that are more optimized for your system, I would say go for the Nintendo Switch 2. The Nintendo Switch 2 has benchmarked slightly higher than the Steam Deck in Cyberpunk, especially considering that Cyberpunk 2077 was apparently remade a bit for the Switch 2 to support it. Also, if you just want to play Mario Kart, just get a Switch 2. Like, that's not even a question. But I just say, if you want to play Nintendo exclusives and don't mind the cost and have the funds to buy a Switch 2, buy a Switch 2. But if you're more concerned about playing indie games and just want to have some fun on a system where you can just get a bunch of games and kind of just burn through like your Steam catalog on the go for something like the Steam Deck or like the ROG Ally or X or all that. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this short review of the Nintendo Switch 2. It's my first video on this channel, so if you guys did enjoy, please click that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. By the time that this video comes out, there will obviously be 2 other videos on this channel that are in a similar style to this one. So if you guys vibe with this one, then I will link some of those down below or like in a card somewhere if I remember to do that. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.